Good morning, everyone. Yeah, very good morning. So, shall we begin the session? In the last class, that is in the Friday's class, we have started, or sorry, we are continuing with the appendix number 3. That is the level of the introduction or the level of the evaluation. What are the various level of the introduction? What are the various level of the evaluation that must be carried out? That must be followed with the approach of the appendix. That is the level of the evaluation. So we have studied about the level of evaluation in the last class. So just recall what we have covered in the last class, so that we are going to use with the various attributes. We are going to use the various arguments. So as you know from the top model, there are a number of levels on which to evaluate the project. For the various level that is used to evaluate the project, there are multiple top model that is used to, or the number of levels that are used to evaluate the projects, and each level provide different information. What are the various different information that must be provided by this one? There are multiple information, different information about the process and the outcome. So what is the process and what is the outcome, or we can say what are the output of the project, or what are the various information that is provided by this one. The project team should also select the level of the evaluation based on the type of information needed. Whatever the type, whatever the information that is needed, so that should select the level of the evaluation based on the type of the information needed to evaluate the project accurately. Now, what are the various level of the discussion? What are the various level that is used in more detail, that is used in the more concern, that is appendix number D. So this is the scaling. Now this is the various condition that is used with the project evaluation staircase. Staircase in the sense, what are the various levels of the letters of the criteria, what are the various scaling, what are the various levels of the project evaluation, that is a staircase. So first one is the SEE condition. So first one is SEE condition that is used with the social economic or the environmental conditions. What are the various social economic environmental condition that is used with the SEE condition. The next one is the participant. So whether the participant's behavior results or change as a result of the knowledge, attitude, skills. So whatever the knowledge, whatever the behavior, whatever the skill that is used, so that is used as a result of the knowledge, attitude, behavior. What are the behavior skills? What are the various terms that is used with the behavior skills? How we can get it, or how we are using the behavior skill. So first one is SEE conditions. Then next one is practices. What are the various practices? What are the various level of the practices? Then there is a CASA. So what the participant needs, or what the participants have to told, that is as a result of the knowledge, skills, attitude, whatever the attitude problem, whatever the skills problem that is available over here. So that is a CASA. That means what did the participant learn? Did the participant improve their ability or improve their skills or the ability? So first is what the participant done. So what did the participant learn, or what is the criteria that is by which the participant learn with each other? So did the participant improve their skills, knowledge, or abilities? So whatever the participant skills, whatever the abilities that is using up, so did the participants use their skills? Did the participant use their attitude, behavior, whatever the problem that is used with this one? The next one is the reactions. What were the participants' reaction to the project? What were the participant reaction in the sense? What were the participant categories? So what were the participants? So whatever the participants, whatever the behavior that is used, so that is used with the content that is used with various behavior that is available with this one. So what are the various reactions? What are the various possible reactions that is used with the project or the activity, and what the participant satisfied with the project activities. So what the participant that is being satisfied with the activity or not. Then next one is the participation. How many of the targeted audience attended the project? So how many of the targeted audience attended the project? What the participants engaged in the activity? So what the participant that is available that is engaged in the activity or no. This is also one of the question, that is the participation. So first part is SEE condition, that is used with the conditions of the SE. The next one is the practices, whatever the practices that is used over here. The next one is the CASA, whether the participants learn or what did the participant learn. Then reactions, reaction in the sense what is the main reaction of the project activity that is carried out with the staircase, that is carried out with the evaluation. The next one is the participants. Whosoever is the participant, whosoever is the audience that is attending the project. But the participant engaged in the activity, whether the activities are implemented as planned, what promotional strategies were worked or failed. So what are the various strategies that is worked or failed, that is activities. Then resources, were the targeted resources were are extended on the or expanded on the program, that is staff, time, money. So were the targeted resources are expended on the program, were the targeted use of the that is used with the time, that is used with the various comment, that is used with the various concern. So whether the targeted resources are available or not. So whether the resources are available with the program or not. So that is also well defined. That is also well resources that is available with the targeted audience, that is used with the targeted audience. Now let's move to the first one, because it is available with the down, then up, then up, then up, then up. So level one is resources. So let's start with the level one, that is the resources, or what is the level one resources, how it is used, and what are the various advantages of using the level one resources. So let's start with the level one resources, that is the level one. So evaluation at the resource level generally includes monitoring activities. So whenever we are using the, whenever we are saying that the evaluation, that generally includes the monitoring activities to explain the scope of the project in terms of the dollar expended and the staff time required. So whatever the staff time, whatever the dollars that is required for this one, these activities must be known in advance. What are the various activities that is known in advance for the resources? So whatsoever the resources that is used, whatsoever the provision that is used over here, so that will be the resources. That what is the main resource that is used, that generally includes the monitoring activities to explain the scope of the project in terms of the dollar, in terms of the expended project, in terms of the staff time required or the used. And the most common way of doing this is to keep careful records. So reporting this information is accurate. So whatever the accurate information, whatever the recorded material, whatever the careful record that will be used, so that will be used to do the careful recording. So when we can say that the reporting this information is very accurate, is very genuine. The most common way of doing is to keep the careful record. So reporting this information is very accurate, is very, we can say the time bounding, or is very necessary to keep the data accurate. Because when the resources are not available, how you can judge, how you can do anything on this. Now let's see what are the various activities that is used in the level number 2. So when we use the monitoring activities, when we see the output, so that is required, that requires the monitoring of the services, the amount of the services that is required. But what's the product? What are the various activities that is decided by the project? What is the main concern that is used with the product, that is used with the activities that is delivered about the project or during a specified period of the time. So whatever the specified period, whatever the duration that is required, that is used with a specified period of the time, that requires the manager or that requires the monitoring of the services. whatsoever the services, whatsoever the amount of the required that is used with the track of the services, that is used with the various resources that is available with the concerned department, that is available with the major departments of this, that is available with that is available with. That is used with the concerned department, that is used with the various activities. So level 2 is activities. What are the various activities that is available, that is used with the various concerned department? What are the various amount of the services, product, or the activities delivered during a specified period of the time? Then keeping track of the activities conducting, product delivered, services rendered, that is a good example or good management. So what are the common examples? That includes the number of the professional development, training delivered, number classroom visit conducted. So whatever the number that is delivered or conducted, number of the education kits given away, what are the various education kits that is given away. Then what are the various process or the implementation activities, evaluation, access the quality and the quantity of activity that is delivered, that is used with the concerned department, that is used with the with the planned activity, with what was actually done. So what was actually done in the sense, that is used with the planned activity, that is used with the quantity of the activity, that is the planning, that is the quality and the planning of the activity, that is used with the level number 2, that is activities. Okay. So we have finished the level number 2. What are the various activities? So what are the various activities that is scheduled, that is planned over here? So monitoring the project activities, it is output that requires monitoring the amount of the services, product, or the activities delivered during a specified period of the time, and keeping track of the various activity or the amount of the activities that is conducted. So product developed or the services that is rendered is one of the good example, is one of the good management that is being developed over the project, that has been developed over the usage. So common example that includes the number of the professional development, that is training delivered, whatever the training that is delivered, the number of the classroom that is visit or conducted, and the number of education kits given away, whatever the kits that is given away for the data. And the recall that a process of the implementation evaluation also assess the quality and the quantity of the activity that is planned with what was actually done. What was actually done, why it is actually done, what is the main scenario for doing this one, what is the main criteria for doing this level number 2, that is activity. So whatever the activities that is planned for the data that is planned for the various scenario, that is used with the current activities, that is used with the various data, that is used with the number of the classroom visit conducted, number of the education kits that is given away, what are the training delivered, what are the various facilities that is given to the training manuals. Now next is level number 3, that is a participation. Whosoever is a participant, so whosoever is a participant, that is used with the data that is used or that is currently being delivered with the participation. So it is one of the considered the most involvement by the targeted participants in the education projects. Although recording attendance is one of the methods of monitoring the amount of the time spent. What is the amount of the time spent? Why we are using the with the one method of the monitoring the amount of the time spent? What is the use or what is the data that is being acquired by the time spent? That means what are the various characteristics, what are the various ways by which we can use the timestamp, by which we can use the data that is currently being used. So why we are using the timestamp? It does not convey how it is active or how it is delivered. So what is the main scenario of the, or what is the main usage of delivering the data, and the most engaged feature or the most engaged data that is being required, that is being used, is the scenario, is we can say the modification, we can say the tool that is being acquired for the data that is being acquired, that is being studied, with the data that is being studied, with the important material, whatever the important material that is used. So how does it convey that active the participants were active, in the sense everyone is taking the interest in the knowledge, in that gaining the knowledge, in gaining the skills, aptitude, whatever the aptitude that is desired over here. The more engaged or active the participants are in the same project. So if there's the same project, that is a more and more participants are available in the same project, that tool will be used, that tool will be available in the data, that tool will be available in the project, and the more likely is that there will be to make needed changes. So whatever the changes, whatever the material that is required, so that is used to make the changes that is required to make the available changes, changes in the sense, what are the various required changes that is used with the needed changes. Then keeping records of the intensity, duration, and the breadth of the participation. So whatever the duration or what is the breadth, what is the duration, what is the participation, that are the part of the monitoring at the participation level. So these are the monitoring, these are the gathering data about the participation level. So these are the parts of the monitoring at the participation level. Now let's see what is the use of the intensity, or what is the intensity, what is the duration, what is the breadth of the participation. So intensity is measured in terms of hours per day, days per week, weeks per year. Intensity means the depth that is measured in terms of the hours per day, days per week, weeks per year, and the duration summarizes the history of the attendance. Whether the participant is new to the project or has been attended for some times, that is also the one of the category. That is the duration. Duration means the timings. Then breadth, yeah, this is the breadth that refers to the variety of the activities. Variety means various activities that is available, various activities that participants attend within and across the project. And participants there or that are active in multiple projects may be more apt to achieve desired project outcome. So they are more keen to achieve more desired outcome. They are more apt to achieve desired project outcome. They are, we can say, interest. They are taking the keen. They are keening, or they are seeking out to adapt more and more activities to decide the project outcomes. So keeping records of the intensity, duration, breadth of the participation are all part of the monitoring at the participation level that is used. Now intensity is the amount of the time that is required that the participants will be used in a project or the activity over a given period of time. That is measured in the hours per day, days per week, and weeks per year. Then duration summarizes the history of the attendance. History in the sense, what is the mean duration that has been carried out, whether the participant is new to the project or has been attended for some time. Breathe, what are the various activity, or what are the various varieties of the activities that is participants attend within and across the project. Then who are the participants, that is used with the multiple activity, that is used with the multiple projects that we part of the desired project outcome. That is a level number 3, participations. So we're done with the resources, whatever the resources that is required. We're done with the activities, whatsoever the activity that is planned out, whatsoever the participation, whosoever the participant, that is used with the level number 3, that is the participation. Now come to the level number 4, that is the reactions. Now what is the meaning of reactions? So this measures the audience's immediate positive or negative response. That means a reaction, that means a feedback. When we say the reaction, that is a feedback. So it's the audience immediate positive or negative response to the project or the learning experience. And this is the most common level of the outcome evaluation. Most common level of the outcome evaluation in the sense, what is the most common level that is used with the outcome evaluation, and it is also often refers to as a smile sheet. Smile sheet in the sense, whatsoever the activities, whatsoever the tool that is used with the smile sheets, and these evaluation ask the participants to rate their perception in the sense, what are the various activities that is rating out, that is we are going to give the rating about the quality and the impact of the specific project or the activity. Specific project in the sense, what are the various activities that is available with the project, what are the various terms that is used in the project, with the various activities, with the various data that is available with the tool. Now let's see level number 4, that is what are the various reactions. So reaction means the audience immediate positive or the negative feedback. What is the positive feedback? What is the negative feedback of the audiences that is used with the positive or the negative response to the project or the learning experience? And this is the most common level of the outcome evaluation. Most common outcome in the sense, what is the mean level of the evaluation? What is the most common level of the evaluation? That is often known as often referred as a smile sheets. This is also known as a smile sheets. These evaluation asks a participant to rate their perception. Rate their perception in the sense to rate their perception, to rate their intelligence from the out of the 10, out of the 20, whatever the perception that is using. So these evaluation asks the participant to rate their perceptions about the quality and the impact of the specific project or the activity. And the smile sheets can also range from a handful of the questions regarding the project delivery, regarding the facility or the usefulness to form that ask the participants, whatever the participant tools, whatever the rating that is used to rate all aspects of the activity. And the reaction evaluation are an important tool to measure the participant satisfaction. What is the satisfaction of the participant? So to measure the participant satisfaction that is carried out with the data, and they are relatively easy to administer, tabulate, and summarize in a result form report. So they are that will be easily reportable, that will be easily gathered together data that will be used with the reaction that is will be used with the various activities that is used with the participants behavior. They are relatively easy to administer, tabulate, and summarize in a result report. So whatever the report that is available with this. Now, what are the various example questions to assess the reactions? The first one is attending the workshop was a poor use of my time. It is a poor use of my time, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So good use of my time, it is a very good. That may be a 2, that may be a 3, that may be a 4, that may be 5. It depends on the data, it depends on the category. So it ranges from the 1 to the 5. Then the length of the workshop in relation to the material presented. So whatever the relation, whatever the data that is related, so the length of the workshop in relation to the materials presented was too long. That is 1, 2, 3, just right. 4, 5, too short. So this depends on the data, that depends on the quality. The length of the workshop in relation to the material that was presented, that may be 1, that may be 2. So it ranges from 1 to the 5. So the rating is from 1 to the 5. 1 is so small, we can say not good. Then 5 is very good, very good, very good. Then workshop facilities first. So what are the various workshop facilities? Whether the workshop or the whether the workshop that is used, so that is inadequate, 1, then 2, then 3 adequate, 4 is also adequate such type, then 5 is a great. So the workshop facilities for inadequate, adequate, or the great. Now, what were the strength and the weaknesses of the workshop? What is the main strength or what is the main weaknesses of the workshop? So level number 5 is the CASA. That evaluation at the CASA level measures whether participants participating in the project or whether the participating in the project increases the audience knowledge, attitude, skills, and aspiration towards the issue. So these are also the knowledge, that is the level number 5. So we have finished the level number 4, that is the reaction. What is the reaction of the administrator? What is the reaction of the various activities that is performed? So how it is gathered, how it is used, or why we are using the reaction, that is the feedback or the immediate feedback of the audience in terms of the positive or the negative. So audience may be or the feedback may be a positive feedback may be a negative feedback. So it depends on the feedback to feedback, it depends on the data to data, project to project. What is the negative feedback, what is the positive feedback? And this is the most common level of the outcome evaluation and often refers to as the smile sheets, that is used to ask the participant to read their perception about the quality, impact of the specific project or activity. And the smile sheets can also range from a handful of questions regarding the project delivery, facility, and the usefulness of forms that ask the participants, whosoever the participant that is carried out, whosoever the data that is used, so that is to rate the project, that is to rate the activities of the or aspect of the activities. Then reaction evaluation are an important tool to measure the participant satisfaction, that is relatively easy to administer, tabulate, and summarize. Then what are the various example questions to assess the reactions? So first is attending the workshop was a poor use of my time, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then length of the workshop in relation to the material presented. So what is the length of the workshop? This is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then workshop facilities were, that is also inadequate, 1, 2, 3. Then also the 4, 5 great. Then what for the strength and the weaknesses of the workshop? So what is the strength what is the weaknesses of the workshop. So whether the workshop that is attended has some limitations, has some advantages, that is the strength and the weaknesses of the workshop. Now, till now, any doubts, anyone? So till now, any doubt that is used with the that is used, or till now, any doubts, anyone in these level of the participations? What are the various level of the participation? Why we are using the level of the participations? So we are finished with the four. That is the audience, that is the analysis, that is the reaction, knowledge. So any doubts, anyone in these four terms, in these four levels? So all right everyone, next is a level number 5, that is a CASA. So whenever we are using the evaluation at the CASA level, that also measures whether the participating in the project, so whether we are whatever we are participating, so whether the participating in the project increases the audience knowledge, attitudes, skills and aspiration towards the issue. So what are the various participants issues, what are the various participating project that increases the audience knowledge, what is the audience knowledge that will be increased, what is the attitude, what is the skill, what is the aspiration towards the issues. So that is also the next question. So what is the an issue, what is the CASA knowledge, what is the participation, what is the aspiration, we can say, towards the issue. So that includes the CASA knowledge, that includes the audience behavior, that includes the aspiration, whatever the aspiration, whatever the CASA material, whatever the knowledge that is used with the issue, that is used with the CASA. So whether participating in the project increases the audience knowledge, whether it is used with the attitude, with the behavior, with the skills, aspiration. And a number of different instruments or the tools can be designed to measure what project participants have learned. So what are the various project participants that have been learned? And before and after the test, simulations or the demonstrations or other in-class procedures, other in-class methods also allows the instructors or the project designer to determine if the knowledge or the skills identifying the objectives are learned or not. So whether the projects are identified, whether the objectives are learned or not. That is used with the objective, that is used with identifying knowledge that is available with the objectives or learned. And it is also important to remember that regardless of the method that is used to determine the project outcome at the CASA level, the test must be determined on the